Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video I'm going to educate you once again about marijuana and the new marijuana and the reforms, at least at the federal level, with regards to marijuana. Now, I'm going to put a link to this video in the description. I just want to say this one thing before we get into this. I don't care what your political views are. I really don't. Whether you like the current president or don't like him or whatever it is, okay? The mission of this law firm that I started in February of 2016 is to save families whose loved ones are suffering from substance use, mental illness, and failed attempts at recovery. Now, when I started in February of 16, the focus primarily was on alcohol and recreational drug use. But two things dramatically changed the kinds of cases that we see. Number one was COVID, and number two was the legalization of marijuana. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I didn't think that the legalization of marijuana, in whether it was recreational or for medicinal purposes here in Florida, was going to be that big of a deal. I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up in the United Kingdom. I had lots of friends who smoked marijuana. And for the most part, they all went on to become productive members of society, got married, had children, the whole spiel. Today's marijuana is very different. And the cases that we see today in my office are very challenging clinically and very challenging legally, because we're dealing with individuals who have severe, untreated mental illness. And a lot of that is driven by the use of the marijuana today, which is significantly more potent and significantly more dangerous and significantly more damaging than the marijuana that I was familiar with when I grew up in the United Kingdom in the 80s. And this article has to do with reform at the federal level, because remember, it's been legal in many states for several years, and there's been big shadow over the top here, because it's still illegal as federally. So this article talks about this, and I wanted to just share some of this with you. And it says here, marijuana is currently classified as a Schedule I drug under the Controlled Substances Act, the most restrictive of which includes heroin. Under the president's order, cannabis would be reclassified to a Schedule III drug on par with codeine, ketamine, and certain stimulants. It said, Trump's order noted that the Federal Food and Drug Administration completed a review of medical use of marijuana in 2023 and found scientific support for its use to treat anorexia related to a medical condition, nausea, vomiting, and pain. Okay, look, I understand that it has medicinal uses. I have a brother who's a medical doctor, but before that he was a holistic medical practitioner, so I'm somewhat familiar with the medicinal use of marijuana. I know it can have some benefits, but the problem is that the application of marijuana, at least here in Florida, is being abused. It's ridiculously easy to get a medical marijuana card and then go and buy as much as you want for the most part. And what we're seeing is this high potency, dangerous marijuana being used by young folks. And I'm talking people between 18 and 25, sometimes earlier. And what it does is it seems to trigger some type of mental health issue. And if there's any kind of genetic predisposition for mental illness, this is like pouring gasoline on a fire. And from everything I've read, if an individual is of that age and potentially younger and starts to use this new type of marijuana, it will damage their brain permanently. It will lower their IQ permanently. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not a fan. I'm simply not. I mean, obviously, if you're a middle-aged, elderly person, whatever it is, and you need it for pain, I get it. But I'm sorry, I'm not going to endorse the use of marijuana for young folks, because I see what it does. Every day we get calls from mums and dads who are besides themselves because of what marijuana is doing to their loved ones. And it's not only destroying their loved one, but it's destroying their family too. This is why they call it a family disease. And it's really hard to pull somebody out of the proverbial rabbit hole when they've been using. It takes time. So I'll share the link to the article. I think my position has been really clear about marijuana. I'm just simply not a fan. But if you are a mom and dad or whoever, a spouse, sibling, whatever it is, and you've got somebody in your family who's dealing with this issue, and it's getting worse, because, well, that's what happens when mental illness is not treated, then we'd like to talk to you. And with that said, if you have any questions or comments, if you disagree with me, great, post it. I read all of them. I think actually I posted a video about a month ago about similar to this issue, and somebody posted that I was a party pooper, right? And said, don't listen to him, he's a party pooper. Well, maybe I am a party pooper, I don't know. I just turned 59 yesterday, not to age myself, and I've seen a bit. But over the last 10 years, I've also spoken to several thousand families. I know what this can do. So anyway, post a comment or question. I read them all. I typically respond within 24 hours. If you like the content, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to the channel, even better. I try to put out a video or videos every single day so you can get the information that you need to, so you can decide, is the legal option a way to go? If it's not, maybe we have another option for you that we can direct you to. But it all starts with picking up the phone. So with that said, thank you for tuning in. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.